My name is Najid Orozco. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Data Friendly Space. Today, we are officially launching our GANNET Workspace. For those that are probably already familiar with GANNET, this is kind of our latest tool in companion with our GANNET virtual assistant and also the Situation Hub. I will be probably just presenting for those that are not familiar with those tools at the end of this presentation, a quick overview of them. But our focus today is the workspace. So let me just start with the presentation. I will go through some slides very quickly, and then we will jump into a live demo of the platform. And I expect to be probably 30 minutes in that, and then we'll be opening up the floor for questions and answers. And yeah, feel free to also drop them in the chat since, probably the team will be able to also answer some of them. Thanks again also for your participation. So we at Data Friendly Space, we are a US-based NGO, but with operations globally, partnering with multiple organizations, and basically our kind of goal and mission is always to support those organizations in the social impact realm to make things happen. We either kind of partner with them, offering technical implementation and developing solutions, as probably you have heard in the past, Deep, IFRC Go, JOES at some point. Unfortunately, Deep is already decommissioned for some funding issues, but also we started almost now, 2.5 years ago with GANNET, this idea of bringing a generative AI tool to the sector, mostly on the humanitarian side for the moment. And at the same time, DFS also provides analysis services for our partners worldwide. So let's focus on the workspace and the challenge. Kind of the problem that we identified as we see here is that organizations waste a lot of time just analyzing documents. Since anytime that is, let's say, a crisis happening or emerging, there are thousands of sources or information that is available, but analysts and also kind of that people that is in the field supporting the response spend almost 70% of the time just searching information, trying to collect from different sources. This problem is sometimes even worse between the organizations' kind of databases. What I mean by that is that there is lots of information already sitting in each of those organizations, name it PDFs, CSV files, presentations that you have probably in a SharePoint, in a Google Drive, in folders in your organization databases, but getting information in a timely manner, kind of gathering those insights very quickly, it's difficult today. So with this kind of in mind, we kind of bring this new tool that is called GANNET Workspace, allowing organizations to have a place where they can just start integrating or dumping those organizational information and start driving or gathering insights from those files. One more thing to also highlight is that we do know that some of those documents are sensitive, should be kind of accessed only by specific users, and that's why we also kind of put let's say a mark on that security aspect of the tool. So that's basically the challenge. The solution, what we say is that from hours to seconds, so from days to hours, of how organizations can gather information. And the workspace has three main aspects. The first one is that each organization will have a completely private environment where they can just dump their files or upload their files, connect to a SharePoint if need be, and then you will be the only ones kind of managing the user's access, also the permissions to upload or delete documents, and then you can start kind of easily start asking questions in a natural language way. Um, Having said that, we kind of leverage the fact that we started with the GANNET virtual assistant, and we have learned or customized that tool for understanding, let's say, contextual information, which goes from well-known frameworks or terminology that is used in the sector, and plus the benefits of kind of having access to your proprietary or your own knowledge base. So these are kind of the three main things. First, your architecture or your organization will have this private AI tool. The second is that you can integrate your or upload the documents either manually or connecting them to SharePoint, and we're kind of developing as well down the road in the roadmap other integrations. And the third one is that it's built kind of with the knowledge or the lessons learned of GANNET Virtual Assistant and the Situation Hub. The key functionalities and benefits of the tools are in these three categories. The first one is that we can integrate or connect as I mentioned, directly into the SharePoints of your organization. For the moment, SharePoints ad hoc as well, you can manually upload, and I will be kind of sharing in the demo how it looks like today. We'll have multiple file support, starting with PDFs, but moving to CSV files, Excel, PowerPoint. The idea is that you can just upload files and start gathering insights and information from these multiple file types. And to have also this sync or synchronization of files anytime that there is changes, you can just upload files to your knowledge base. In terms of security, the idea is that you will have ownership and control of the files that are stored in your workspace. As an organization, and let's say organizations admins, you can upload those files and decide whether to host them or store them in the workspace, or at any time also delete them, and I will show how it looks like. The idea is always to have kind of a simple interface, no so many complications, and yes, kind of allow users and organizations to control that. We secure end-to-end encryption. We are using security level or enterprise level, infrastructure, building on top of what we already have built with GANNET, BA, and Seed Hubs. You'll have access control to the files, and of course, the idea is that we can audit or kind of check the information or create those logs that and every user either uploading files, deleting them, how we can store or log that information in the system. And finally, in terms of searching functionalities, everything will work as you know today with well-known platforms using natural language queries. It has this context understanding of social impact. Something that is really valuable is that you will have the citations or inline citations for your responses, something that we already see in the virtual assistant. And of course, as LLMs today kind of give us the opportunity, we'll have multi-language capabilities that you can ask for the response either in English or in any other language, and the response will be provided in that language. How to get started? So more, let's say, on the implementation of kind of ways of having workspace in your organization. We have two, let's say, options at the moment. We have a ready-to-use solution, as we call it. It's a basic one, the one that I will be showing today. It's a workspace that will be kind of managed by your organization. You will be kind of setting up, or we will be coordinating with you, the admins, and then you will be having control of your workspace. There is a fixed pricing model. It's quick to kind of jump into this solution, and the features will be a standard. The idea with this kind of option is that we will be having with you a call where we'll be understanding kind of the way that you store your files between your organization, kind of the structure that you have for your users, and then we'll be guiding you in the process of jumping in this, let's say, out of the shell solution. So this is kind of the easiest one, the quickest. However, we do know that there are organizations with a specific request, either in terms of extra security layers or integrating with their current systems or platforms that they are using. And as well, either sometimes accessing through APIs. So we have this other kind of approach where we have, let's say, a custom integration of not only the workspace, but also the virtual assistant or the situation hubs if may need. So we estimate, of course, here are just estimations between 2 or 6 weeks, but depending on the level of personalization or customization that your organization may require, it will be probably longer. So yeah, but the idea is, as always, we do in DFS, is to kind of iterate or test as quick as we can. And then from there, we kind of set up those different, let's say, milestones that we will be kind of achieving. And then the idea is that the organization can start using it as soon as possible. Just to remind, this is kind of how the GANNET ecosystem or suite of tools looks as of today. We have the virtual assistant, that is this generative AI chatbot where you are accessing more than, I think today is 200,000 documents that are available from trusted sources like Relief Web, news, media, articles, reports from different UN agencies and governments. And with natural language queries, you will get access to that information, always tracing back to the original sources. Then we have the situation hubs that we have already in 3 crises, Myanmar, Lebanon, and Sudan, where you have kind of the consolidated information from that specific crisis, automated reports generated on a weekly basis. And then the tool that we are launching today, the workspace that is mainly focused for, let's say, private knowledge bases for the organizations that require to have that kind of pilot or independent knowledge base. Having said that, and very quickly before jumping into the workspace demo, just as a refresher, the virtual assistant is this tool. You will get access to them directly in the GANNET.ai website, where you see the virtual assistant, the situation hub, and then kind of more information about them in each of these pages. But just to show you today how it looks like, this is the interface for the virtual assistant. You will get access to this set of filters where you can filter either by country, if you want to kind of be specific for a country or a region, you can select the different countries. Then the sources, you can also kind of customize your search or your query based on those sources that you would like to add, and also the dates that you would like to retrieve information from. So at any time, you can just go and start asking information. And this is just an example. We were just doing some presentations a couple of weeks ago to a Japanese partner, and then you were able just to get the answers in Japanese. But just let me show you an example of one of the let's say responses with inline citation that we have. And sorry that probably I was not having the tab already here, but I mean, you can add citations to any of these responses, and then the citation will be already kind of added to your answer, and then you will get the opportunity to track always back to the original source. One thing to mention, we updated the pricing models for the GANNET VA. We have a free version that any of you can jump immediately and start using. You can go there and start using the VA with all capabilities that we have. And then we have 10 prompts that you can use. And then if you just want to kind of upgraded on a monthly basis, you will have $9.99, and then you will get access to, let's say, larger number of prompts. I think it's 150 on a month with, again, all the functionalities. If you may require a specific or say extra functionalities, yes, you can reach out to us, and then we'll kind of look at your specific use case particularly. And here are just the citations added. An example is that you can just go and hover over on any of this, and then you will get always the sources that were used to generate these answers. And this is what we call the inline citation, which gives always more, let's say, certainty and trust in the response. So yeah, that was just to give you an example of the VA. Quickly jumping into the next tool, the Situation Hub. And again, this is just a refresher before going into the workspace. The Situation Hub is this tool where it's open. We see it as a public good where it's free for anyone just to go there. And as I was mentioning, we have 3 crises already: Sudan, Lebanon, and Myanmar. And anytime that you are landing in the tool, you have the overview, the situation analysis, and the media monitor. The overview kind of bringing information from different APIs, quantitative data, where we are showing kind of these highlights of the crisis that is happening. In terms of fatalities, events, we are always kind of showing the latest updated date for the each of those metrics. Then you can jump into the situational analysis, and these are automated reports that are always checked by analysts internally at DFS. So we have this human in the loop verification where before publishing or making these reports public, there is an analyst that is always validating the information. So you can have either by operational environment or sectoral analysis, the different pillars or sub-pillars to kind of get the information that you are interested in, and you can select the period of analysis. And now something new, you can download this report as a PDF, and it will be formatted and ready to be shared with your peers. And finally, we have a media monitor that is kind of gathering information from the sources and then geo-referencing them in a map where you can see, for in this case, for Myanmar, what's happening in specific regions. You can select and look at the sources that are being kind of categorized and also kind of verified by our analyst. And that's kind of something that we want to highlight with the human in the loop. Kind of work with AI and responsible use of AI. So yeah, that was kind of a quick update on BA and Situation Hub. And this is what I just mentioned. We collect the data. We have kind of or run the analysis. We can ingest documents in any language today. So before we were just focusing on English, then we moved to French, Arabic, and Spanish, but now we support any language. We have the step of human verification, and then we have kind of these customized outputs where we can tailor, if needed, the Situation Hub to different frameworks if your organization may need that. And then you have kind of these actionable insights. Some information we have more than now, I think this is not updated, but I think it's almost 1,000 users now from more than 190 organizations, 70 or more countries. And the sources, media sources, government sources, UN agencies, and international NGOs that on a daily basis we are fetching. And I think on a daily, we are fetching around 1,500, between 1,500 to 2,000 documents on a daily basis. Just before jumping into the demo, our strategic roadmap, we were focused on the qualitative data, kind of making sure that processing qualitative data was, let's say, at the level that we expected. I think today we have a strong foundation of working with qualitative data and being able to ingest those documents and get insights. What we are working at the moment is quantitative data integration with very good results. We will expect to be kind of adding these functionalities into the VA pretty soon. The idea is to have yeah, quantitative data directly kind of coming from APIs as the humanitarian API from HTX, bringing those data sets, mixing them with qualitative reports, and then kind of generating those outputs to users. And then with that in mind, the idea is to work on the anticipatory action model where we kind of have this mix of quantitative plus qualitative, and then start kind of getting, sense all of that information at once. So yeah, without further ado, let me just jump into the workspace demo. The interface will be pretty similar to what you already have seen for those familiar to the VA. So let me just jump to the initial kind of screen. Differences here, the filters won't be added since, kind of you are just targeting to a specific kind of set of documents that you will be uploading. So for the moment, we have no filters, but you will have the option, and there is a new option here that is the library. In the library one, and you will have access to the documents that are already in the in your workspace. Here, as a matter of an example or demo, I uploaded three different files: the GF technical manual, the SOPs for UNDP for crisis response and recovery, and you see 38 pages, in this case 60 or 86, sorry. And I also uploaded one GANNET kind of one pager. The idea is to also show kind of different interactions with the documents. This view is the one for a regular user. As you see, there is no option to upload new files or either delete them. You can just download them. And you are also not able to add more users of this organization. This is the basic user that just go and start driving or getting information out of those documents. Before kind of querying, I will be changing to the, let's say, admin view, where you will have kind of the option to first have the opportunity to invite new users. Then you will be kind of sending invites for those users. And then also for each of those users, you will be able to either assign them as an organizational user admin that will be able to add more users. So you can just grant that permission. And then you can also grant the permission to either upload and delete files. So if I just change those permits to the user that we just explored, and let me just go back and access back with the regular one, it's now updated, and then you see that the users are here. So these regular users now have, let's say, more permits, and for the library as well can upload and delete files. So yeah, that's kind of the way that we plan to have different roles and permissions for the users. Let me start with some basic queries. And again, this is a demo, so hope and please bear with me in case there is something that is not expected. But let's start with something simple. What is GF? Knowing that we kind of ingested a file there. So also to say the responses are much faster than in the VA. The reason behind that is that you are just focusing your search in the specific kind of documents that you uploaded into the workspace. So yeah, you expect to have answers much faster than compared to the VA in case you kind of find it different at the moment. So yeah, basically just give me the answer and also added the sources here. So yeah, that's kind of the first one. Then we can go probably for another one that says, okay, how many steps are involved in the GF process? And then the idea is that, it will kind of list the different steps for this methodology. But imagine that you can either use the GF as one example, but for your organization's internal SOPs or methodologies that you may have. So yeah, here, for example, you have the three main modules for GF. And imagine that you want to probably zoom in on the sub steps for each of those. So I just say, please list all the steps and sub steps for this process. And then it's analyzing the query, and hopefully we'll just list each of those sub-steps that are clearly defined in the GF methodology. So yeah, we have contributing parts of scope, identify, and the sub-steps for each of those modules. So Yeah, and always the sources referencing back to the original file. You can also explore and which pieces of the information were used to generate the response. So let's go probably another exploration here, an example. So explain GF in simple terms for community volunteers. So imagine that you have a complex process or a methodology that you may need to see how effectively be communicated since, for example, GF is sometimes not easy to explain. So here is an example, and let's see what the system kind of brings to us. So yeah, GF, it's a tool used by humanitarian organizations to understand and analyze the need of people affected by crisis. And you see that the language is very, let's say, simple and easy to understand. So yeah, let's just probably go one step further and we can just see in comparison with the two documents. So I prepared this one. We need to train new staff on emergency response. What are the key learning points from the UNDP's SOP and the GF manual? So in this case, we are just mixing the two documents. So imagine that you have 10, 5, 3 documents that are probably complementing each other or different, and you may want to kind of get insights from both of them or start thinking about either training materials or ideas. So yeah, to effectively train new staff on emergency response, it's important to highlight a plan and then start kind of addressing information for each of those files and kind of the main things. And probably, and you see in the sources, there are the two files, just sources, reference there. And then probably I can say, okay, create a 5-day training plan for GF, and then let's see what happens. The idea is that it would say, okay, day one, probably just focus on this, day two. And again, you can think of maybe creating Q&A or frequently asked questions or yeah, training material and capacity building between your organizations, but also for those probably partners that you work with. So yeah, you have here day one, introduction to GF, morning session, day two, the module one, introducing module two, day three, module three, tools and platforms for the day four, and yeah, integration and review. So yeah, this is kind of a basic plan that was generated there. So yeah, I think that's what I just wanted to show you for kind of fixing. There is one more thing and one example. Let's see it kind of works well. Based on the UNDP's SOP, what are the initial crisis response provisions for a level 3 crisis? Very specific question. I will show you how it looks like in the original document. Let's see how it does. So imagine again that you don't want to kind of spend a lot of time just going, saying, okay, what's the document that may have that information? You just ask and then get the information. So for a level 3 crisis, the initial crisis response provisions, according to the UNDP's SOPs, include, and then you see immediate action funding up to $200,000, emergency funding up to 1 million. If we go to the original document, let's see, and then explore those provisions, I did the exercise just before. So we go here, and then I think it's on page 9. Yeah, exactly. So you have here the initial crisis response provisions for level 3, and then you have the immediate action funding and the numbers that we just retrieve in the response. So just to also share that, yeah, the system is able to look into the information probably not only in the regular format that we are aware of, but also looking at, let's say, yeah, more specific kind of charts or information that is not in that conventional way. So yeah, this is the, let's say, demo for the workspace. Happy to take any questions or comments, and yeah, before that I just want to ask the team if there is something probably that I'm missing, and guys, you will be compliment. Otherwise, I think we have yeah, enough time to start the discussion, and yeah, thanks again for your attention. Great. So I think we can move to the questions in case anyone has, any questions. Please feel free to jump in or raise your hand.
Hi, Nareed. How you doing?
Yeah, all good.
Fantastic.
Thank
I'm
you.
super excited to see this demo. I wondered, I mean, our SharePoint library has like 15,000 documents in it going back like 5 or 6 years at least, if not longer. Is there a sort of maximum size library that this works on?
Yeah, thanks for that, Rory, for that question. Yes, for the moment, and that's exactly kind of the limits that we would like to start kind of getting from real use cases. We have, as of today, the SharePoint is let's say good progress. In terms of limitations, we have limits on 20 megabytes per file, but that's kind of a hard-coded limit that we have just set for the sake of kind of managing it. But in the case that you may have kind of PDFs with more than, I don't know, 80 megabytes, that's something that we can definitely, kind of adjust. And then for the limit of number of files, the idea in the implementation kind of process and code is that most likely some of those folders are for sure let's say the most recurrent or frequent ones that you are using. So probably we would like to start with those. Then in terms of limits as ingesting, I don't see kind of an issue for the moment. That's something that we can definitely scale and manage. But in the implementation plan, it's something that we probably would like to see if there is anything kind of sort of plan that we can work together and see, okay, let's focus on these specific folders we can ingest, because it takes, just to give you an example, I updated also the IPC technical manual that is average like 300 pages, and it took probably 5 minutes or so to ingest that file. Once it's ingested, of course, it's already able to start kind of querying data. So imagine that you have that number of files. We would like to see, okay, which are the priority number one, priority number two, number three, and then kind of moving in that. But it's something that we can definitely work with you and then plan ahead. But we can support that level of integration. But let me ask the team if Nico, Peter, if you have any ideas on that or comments. Nope. Or Alvaro, if you have anything there.
Thank you. Well, actually, I think the limit will not be the number of files, but it will be, as you mentioned, the size of them, right? So it would be more like depending on the plan we want to get into the organization. Okay, how we will, how long or how big do we want to have this folder size?
Yeah. Thanks, Alvaro. Yeah, thanks, Daniel, for the question. That's a great one. We are finalizing kind of the details for the pricing. We know, and let me just get back to the presentation. As we expect to have this basic kind of the ready-to-use solution that will be with a fixed pricing model in terms of the storage that will be kind of available for that one and the number of users. Basically, those are the two main kind of key drivers for that one. So we expect that by the end of this week, we will be officially kind of launching the pricing, and it will be a fixed pricing. So for any organization that will have, let's say, X number of gigabytes available and up to, I don't know, 50 users or 20, we are kind of defining or detailing those drivers at the moment. Then we'll have the fixed pricing. And then for those kind of more customizable solution in terms of, okay, maybe what I'm shown, it's good, but you maybe want extra step, either integration wise or security concerns, then you probably will have a customized pricing in that case. But let's say for the basic one, max on Friday we'll have the launch of that. And the reason behind that is that also Pepe, that is present in the call, is now in Geneva, will be presenting in the AI for Good as well, the workspace. So the idea is that we can all be aligned in that pricing, and then we'll be kind of officially launching it, max by the end of the week. But yeah, once it's ready, we'll be kind of sending it or sharing it through our channels. But Daniel, we can also get back to you and either schedule a follow-up call and then see if there is any opportunity there for us as well. No, I think will be kind of the same one. The difference in Geneva is that since Pepe and Doug will be there, you will be kind of hands-on in the product itself. So in case you have some PDFs to test or information that you probably would like to test, then you'll have the opportunity to, and Pepe, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the idea, to sit with you and see the product itself and kind of be more hands-on.
Exactly. I'll will be there for the entire week. So even the possibility of having a quick chat, even you sharing maybe some of the documents that might be relevant for your organization, and then organize the demo so you don't see our documents, but actually your organization's one, and also to better understand the use cases. We are, as we said, we're launching the product as you see, but the idea is to make it as useful as possible for partners and colleagues. So yeah, basically being available for you. I shared my LinkedIn profile here. So if any of you happen to be there or any of your colleagues might be attending the summit, please contact me and we'll make sure to share a coffee at least. Thank you.
Thanks, Pepe. And also to highlight something that you just mentioned, this is our first, let's say, version of the product. The idea is to gather feedback for you to let us know what you think works, what probably we are missing at the moment. And based on that, we'll be kind of iterating, adopting those ideas, and then, continue advancing in the product. We have already a roadmap, but the idea is that with real use cases and kind of, users out there, will understand more and then start tailoring it. Please, Georgia.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. I kind of followed the DEEP, which was a previous, let's say, environment, because I'm studying digital transformation in diplomacy, and it was a very interesting tool. So I was wondering whether that vast, let's say, library and data wealth that was already in the DEEP, and it also had quite a few, let's say, geographic cases covered. If it's going to be transferred or used in any way in this new tool in the GANNET.
Yeah, that's a great question, Georgia, and thanks. Unfortunately, as May 29, DEEP was completely decommissioned, and since kind of the
sad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was kind of leading the product at times, so yeah, it was also sad for me. For let's say data governance and kind of agreements with the users, we cannot use that data without the permissions of the users, and that's why we are not using it for GANNET. However, with that said, not, let's say, all the information that was in DEEP, it's available, it's publicly available. However, many of the reports and kind of the information hosted was coming from Relief Web and kind of well-known sources. So in the GANNET VA, in the virtual assistant, you may have that information already. So probably not at the level already tagged and classified as you have it structured in the DEEP. However, you will have access to that information in the VA. With that in mind, at some point, we are also thinking with the situation hub and the way that we are structuring the data, how we can convert that into, let's say, if you have, Georgia, a specific case for, I don't know, I want to focus in this region, what we can do with you and your organization to work together and say, okay, let's spin up a new situation hub, knowing that we have this knowledge base that is currently and kind of automatically updating every single day, and format the information or categorize it for supporting your search on that. But yeah, that would be kind of the option at the moment. But to answer your question, no, it won't be transferred the data from DEEP to GANNET.
Thanks.
Welcome. Great. Any other questions or comments for today? The idea was to kind of have this quick demo to give you kind of a sense of the product, but of course, more than happy to have an in-depth session with you to understand the needs of each of your organizations, kind of the size, as Rory was just sharing with us, the number of kind of files, documents, the type of files. We know that some of you are probably most focused on qualitative data, so most likely PDFs, Word documents. Others maybe are more into the quantitative side, so Excel files, CSV, either probably even JSON files. So how we can start kind of understanding those different use cases, and the idea is that we can work together in this development of the tool, and more than happy to jump in those calls to start kind of identifying those use cases. Thank you, Agustin. Great. So if there is no other kind of questions or comments, let me just wrap up saying that, as Pepe was mentioning, this week we'll be presenting the AI for Good Summit. So feel free to reach out to Pepe or Doug. And otherwise, I think we can drop here. Daniel, I think so. Marigan, can you confirm if we will be sharing the recording?
Yes, we will be sharing the
Yes.
recording and also the presentation, so you can take it back to your team. And again, we're always happy to also have private demos, so just reach out to Najib, Pepe, ourselves, and we're happy to set that up and talk with you guys.
Yeah, just for contact details, I think I missed that part. So here's our, let's say, organizational email, but you can also reach out to us directly on LinkedIn. You can find me as Najid Orozco, and then and my email is najid@datafriendlyspace.org. So feel free to send an email, and more than happy to jump in those calls. But yeah, thanks everyone for your time today, and also for your interest in GANNET. And yeah, we keep building and kind of bringing more products and ideas to the sector, and of course, hopefully co-creating and working with you to implement or integrate these tools into your current workflows. Thanks, everyone.